everyone, we are at the AI Summit here in New Delhi. This is Bharat Mandapam, which is witnessing a massive expo. On display are intelligence, innovation, and also ideas. India is sending a message to the world that it will not just be adopting AI, it will be shaping how the world uses AI. Just look at this one. Engineered for sustainability. What do you see? Something which is powering your vision. Something that will ensure that you are surprised and at the same time curious to know more about it. So let me ask that question. Why am I so curious about this?
So if you have heard about the Honorable Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw talking in Davos about that India is now targeting all the 7 layers of AI journey, 7 chakras. It starts from data center, right? It is where that your GPU, CPU servers are hosted. It starts from semiconductor. And Larsen and Toubro is beyond construction now with Viksit Bharat in mind. We are also kind of creating that entire AI ecosystem. So we are into physical infra, data center. We are into digital infra, CPU, GPU cloud. So we offer GPU as a bare metal service. That is any AI. Blue versus Larsen and Toubro Mindtree, a group company. And then you have humanoids, robotic, connected mobility, healthcare, legal AI, and no-code AI. So all kind of test-bed vertical solution for respective industry can ride on your GPU platform.
So this is the new Bharat that we are talking about. The new Bharat, which is looking at different solutions. This is a stall of a big company. But what about startups? In fact, at this place, you'll be seeing multiple startups displaying their ideas as well. So come with me. On display here in Bharat Mandapam is also something called physical artificial intelligence. We have the founder here. What is this?
So this is autonomous docking station for a drone, and we are enabling AI to fly and collect data on city level and understand what is happening around our city. Basically, we are giving eyes to the AI.
So this is Inception program.
This is Inception program powered by NVIDIA, and we are using NVIDIA processors to analyze all the data that is coming and make sense out of it.
Among the delegates is also multiple women. So here is Manvi, who's here, also part of the incubation at Inception program at NVIDIA. This is your startup. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so IndiHood is basically a platform generator which generates platform declaratively. So you don't have to do like typical native platform generation. It basically, you just declare your requirements to us, to the platform, and it generates itself. Okay.
When did you start?
So we have been building quietly for past 7-8 years. We have matured it to a level where the platforms that it generates now, the quality of it is actually enterprise grade. So basically it's secure, scalable, and it can handle a scale of more than 1 million users.
Okay, so this is fascinating. This is something called AI for brains. So it will be talking about how my brain is functioning. The next frontier of AI is the brain. Okay, so what exactly is this now?
So what we are building is essentially a chat GPT for the brain. We are calling it a brain language model. So the electrical activity on the brain, which is present for everybody, we record it and we decode it by treating it just like a language. It's a language that human beings can't understand, but we have built a model that can understand it. And that forms an interface between us and the brain, and therefore the brain and the technology that we are building so rapidly around us.
Just hold on to this. Let me try and see what's happening in my brain.
So when you put it on,
So it will be for 3 seconds.
it's already generated when you did it.
Okay.
On. Now, if you look at this, these are your brain waves. These will be the predicted version.
First step to be able to predict what the brain is thinking is to actually be able to predict what the brain is about to do. So this screen is actually telling you that our model is now able to predict what your brain is about to say in this language, in the signal language. Now once we can start predicting it, we have to decode it. For that you'll have to wait a little bit.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking. So, you can show us something in the arm movement as well? Okay, so let's do this. So what exactly will it, for how many seconds?
So we have 2 seconds of calibration, which makes sure that the data that is getting collected is specifically meant for you, and the model is then fine-tuned to make sure that the biosignals that you produce are the ones that are getting resulted out.
Yes, please, if you can show the movements. Let's see the movements.
So your arm primarily has 4 muscle groups, and it's collecting from all of those 4 muscle groups. Now first what we'll do is we'll calibrate it. So right now these IMUs are all over the place. We'll calibrate it so that now this is set to rest. So whenever you are at rest position, all of these are set to 0 and everything is set minimal. See, you move your arm up and down. We're able to detect that. Let's see you move right and left. Different muscle groups are getting activated. If you scroll right there, you're able to detect all of that. Now, let's say you're doing some kind of gestures over here. Each gesture, let's say you're
No,
going
but
to
tell
do
me,
this.
what does it say about my muscle health?
This is
The health of my muscle.
Yeah, so right now the model itself is what it's doing is it's abstracting out data, whatever it can abstract out as node space. What the node space does is you can put on any kind of decoder on top and you can use it for either medical applications, you can use it for robotic applications or anything.
Thank you so much and wishing you all the best. So for all the AI enthusiasts, young people who want to see the scope of innovation, the scale of innovation, and how India certainly is sending a message of intent, this is the place that you must come. Policymakers from all over the world have all descended in New Delhi, right here in Bharat Mandapam, to share their views on how India can advance in the space of AI. We have Jason Oxman here. He's the President and CEO of Information Technology Industry Council, a leading global trade association representing major tech companies. Jason, welcome to New Delhi. You have positioned India as a global pace setter in AI innovation. Why do you say that?
I think pace setter is a great word. It's great to be here with you, and it's exciting to have the AI Action Summit taking place here in Delhi. Look, pace setter is the right word because India is the largest democracy in the world. And the focus of government of India on advancing innovation in a democratic society means that it is quite literally a model for the rest of the world. There is a model of AI development that is closed. That's the model in China, where it's not available, it's not free, it's not accessible. It's used by the government as a tool of oppression in many cases. Here in India, it's exactly the opposite. And that's a model for the global south. It's a model for the world. So here we are at the AI Impact Summit, where we're discussing the adoption of innovative new technologies, ways in which it can advance the economy of India, ways in which it can advance the society, medically, education, every use case you can imagine, agriculture and beyond. And we're excited because it is truly a model for the world. What we adopt here, what we talk about here, is going to be a model for the world.
You have made an interesting comparison between India and China. Prime Minister Modi says it's AI for all. It's about democratizing AI, making AI more accessible, and that's the reason why the entire focus is on local solutions of global problems. So, Jason, what are your recommendations for India? In past, you have put out recommendations for European Union and also for the US government.
Yeah. So the Prime Minister is absolutely right. AI for all is the right model. And that's why we're here in India exploring AI for all, not only for India, but for the world. Our recommendations for policy for the government of India are quite simple. Make sure that we work together in partnership, the government and the private sector, to make trust the center of all the technology that's being deployed. Technology has to be global, of course. There are a lot of exciting opportunities with the adoption of AI technology here in India, but the opportunity really is not for the global tech industry. It's for small and medium enterprises in India that can make use of innovative AI technology. And the use cases across different industries are all on display here in Delhi this week. So, for example, agricultural use cases for AI, making sure that targeted irrigation and targeted use of pesticide lowers costs and increases crop yields. Medical device applications, so making sure that AI can help a doctor in a rural area make a diagnosis of something that she may not have seen before. educational and workforce skill development use cases where AI can help improve access to technology from around the world to make sure that Indian students are skilled in the jobs of tomorrow. All great opportunities, all in partnership with global technology companies, and making sure that government policies allow those services to be offered here, inspire investment here, as so many global technology companies are doing. That's really the right path forward.
So, Jason, since it's about AI adoption, we have spoken about agriculture. The focus is on Indian farmers to make them self-equipped, Atmanirbhar or self-reliant, as Prime Minister Modi talks about, especially in emerging markets. How easy or tough it is to adopt AI, and has India now sent a signal or a message through its lived experiences?
I think it is an important signal to send to the rest of the world that investment in India is the right place to be for the technology industry. And I think the opportunity to see the expo floor here and the hundreds of companies that are displaying their technologies, the opportunity is for small and medium enterprises like farmers to adopt technology, but the technology needs to come to India. The investment needs to happen here. And you've seen a lot of large technology companies announce in recent weeks literally tens of billions of dollars in investment in everything from manufacturing of semiconductors to data centers to investment in training for small businesses and using AI tools. That's all happening because the environment economically, politically, here in India is so good for investment. And the idea of that investment taking place in India is very exciting for the tech industry because there are so many great opportunities here in India.
So let's wrap this conversation up, Jason, with your final thought on Expo. You were there at the Expo. One big imagery which you are taking back with yourself to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I saw, which was really interesting to me, was how large language models from companies like OpenAI and Meta and Google and Anthropic and others are being open sourced and used by Indian companies to develop use cases that use those big compute powers. You know, there's been a lot of conversation about how these large language models are created, the training that goes into it, the massive compute power. But now we're moving into what we call the inference phase, where queries are being done. And sometimes, and we're seeing it at the Expo here, those queries are being done at the edge, if you will, on our devices, including our own mobile phone devices, where we can access that kind of inference power. So what I'm really taking away here is the work that those large companies have done that has gone into the training of these models is now being deployed by smaller companies that maybe provide use cases that are very hyper-local in their form factor and can be accessed by consumers and businesses on their PCs, even on their mobile devices. That's kind of the next generation of AI, and it's really unfolding here in India.
And you're also celebrating India with that garland. That's in the tricolor.
Yes. Thank you for noticing. I've been wearing it all day and getting a lot of positive comments on it. I was handed it when I arrived in India yesterday. This is my 7th trip to Delhi that I've taken in recent years, and I enjoy it every time I'm here. And I'm proud to be advancing the partnership between the U.S. and India. We saw a really phenomenal development just a few days ago with the announcement of the trade deal between the U.S. and India. That's exciting. And I think the business opportunities, the partnership and the friendship between the U.S. and India has never been more important.
All right, Jason. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this global event, India is spotlighting local solutions. We have with us someone from Washington, D.C. She arrived only last night. Victoria Espinel is the CEO of the Business Software Alliance, and she has also served on the National Artificial Intelligence Advisory Committee of the U.S. government. Victoria, welcome to New Delhi and welcome to Bharat Mandapam. What do summits like these mean for countries such as yours, and how is the U.S. viewing India and its moves with regards to the AI?
So thank you so much for having me here. I'm very excited to be here. Excited. The energy here is unbelievable. I think you asked what this summit means for countries like the United States, but I'll start by saying I think for India, it's so exciting. I was so happy when I heard that Prime Minister Modi had announced that India was going to be the next host of this global AI summit. Because there's so much innovation here. I knew this summit was going to be a particularly great convening of policymakers and business people from over the world, and you can feel that in the air here. So it's delightful to have touched ground in Delhi, and I'm really excited to be here. I think coming from the United States, there's a lot of excitement about what is happening here. You know, the U.S. administration has been interested in partnering with India from the beginning on a whole range of things, but also I know specifically on artificial intelligence, the United States wants to partner with India. So there's so much opportunity.
You know, since you're talking about US-India partnership with regards to artificial intelligence, as the trade ties between the two nations deepen, how critical is alignment, particularly on AI governance and cybersecurity, in the domain of this partnership and its future?
I think it's essential. So it's essential from a foreign policy and defense point of view. But let's just focus on artificial intelligence because that's the topic of the day. I think having the United States and India have a similar approach, which is something that is happening, is critical. What we really need if we're going to see AI flourish and if we're going to see it benefit as many people as possible is to have as many governments as possible around the world taking a relatively similar approach to AI. And we are seeing that. We're seeing that with the United States and India. We're seeing it actually with a lot of governments around the world. I have to say, I've been doing technology policy for many years now, and I've never seen an issue that has seized the government's attention in a similar way. And I've never seen an opportunity where so many governments around the world are trying to work together. This summit is an example of that, but it's really kind of incredible to see this convening and coming together.
Are you of the opinion that India has understood the impact of AI, the potential in AI, the opportunities in AI much better than most countries?
I think it's something that we've seen Prime Minister Modi be interested in from the outset. And so I think I don't think there's any one country that I could point today and say it's figured everything out, right? Of course. But I think India has been at the forefront, not of innovation in general for many years, but of AI specifically. I think it is something that the government has been thinking about for a number of years.
You know, India is positioning itself as a digital powerhouse, as the voice of the global south in particular. As you highlighted, that the fact that we are hosting this summit, it means a lot for the entire global south. From an industry's lens, is India policy ready according to you?
I think India I don't think any country is totally done with their policy. You know, and I think in India there are definitely things that would need to change on the policy front to truly get the most benefit from AI. I think one of those is cloud adoption, cloud infrastructure, like making sure there's access, making sure data is available and freely transferable and the government data is accessible to those who need it. So I think there are some changes that could be made. But I think it is something that the Indian government is taking very seriously. And so I'm very encouraged by the progress I've seen them make. Can I just say a moment more on holding the summit here? Because I think it's deeply meaningful that Prime Minister Modi has had the summit. I think you see in the summit the openness of India, because there are so many different people that have come. One of the things I think is really important is that the conversation about AI not be among a small group of countries. And there are other groups that tend to be that small group of countries. And I think that is not how we as a world are going to see the biggest benefit from AI. So it is wonderful to see India hosting the summit. And I think it's extremely important that when we're talking about AI innovation and policy, that the voices of governments from around the world are part of that.
Would you say that this is about global coordination?
Yes.
That countries have to coordinate on AI front?
I think they do. I think they have to coordinate. I think they have to harmonize. I think they have to be working together. But again, that is happening. And it's happening in a way that I've not seen on any other type of technology. So it's really exciting.
Were you part of the previous AI summits in other countries?
Yes.
And if I were to put you on a spotlight and ask you a question with regards to their those summits and India's summit? What makes this summit different from those?
I think the energy.
The previous ones.
Yeah. I think the energy here is really special. And I think that's because there's people here from so many different walks of life and so many different countries. And so seeing India bring that together in a way that is different is really exciting. And I think the optimism around AI and the benefit that it can have is something that is also really striking in the summit.
I agree with you on vibe, Victoria, because I was entering and you could see a lot of AI enthusiasts, young students, entrepreneurs, keen on knowing what exactly is the world surprised by. Are you also of the opinion that AI will take forms that we'll not be able to fathom?
Yes. I think it's very hard. No human being sitting here today can predict with confidence what is going to happen in technology in 20 years. And I would say today, given the speed, it's hard to predict where the technology will be in 4 or 5 years from now. Things are moving really quickly.
Victoria, enjoy your stay in India. Thank you so much.